Yes, sombrero. Yes, sombrero. Yes. Hello. Yes. Just call her sombrero.
Just call me sombrero and call her bounce.
Oh, God. Okay.
It's a podcast, not a cast pod. Hey, Frase, every day she'll make you say,
Oh, my God.
she's got the scoop on pop culture news.
So grab a friend
And what you say, it's Sarah and the Crow.
Oh my God, after 10 years, we finally know our theme song. Everybody, welcome to the Hey Frase Pod. It is Bounce and Sombrero. We have our new names. What are you owing? What do you like? Why is your mouth open?
I don't know. Well, we have new
like
nicknames.
my outfit? Okay.
Oh, that, and because it's always freezing in the studio, Sarah was like, I'm not taking off my jacket. And she removed it, folks, just for you.
I did, just for you. I'm wearing a leopard top today because AJ came over. You know, AJ is so many things in my life. Dear friend, co-host, comedian, impressionist, and stylist. Like, I actually make her come to my house and style me.
And, you know, when I look up, just perusing the internet as we do, and if you look up Glassdoor and you look up what a stylist actually makes, it's absurd.
Oh, they're insane. They want to charge you like $250 an hour
Per
or something.
hour. I'm like, what? Are you a lawyer? Did you go to law school? Don't think so. Okay?
I know.
You didn't do anything.
That's actually a great point. You're right. Lee Leschner, our new attorney, charges $425.
Now that is time spent because you're getting defended in law.
Exactly.
I'm just setting you up for an OOTD, and that's literally it.
You're pulling a couple of leopard print things out, a couple of cutoff shorts.
I'm making her look like mob boss meets,
And you're
Skipper.
You're snapping a photo on. I like sometimes when stylists too, they give you their like book or whatever, and they're like, yes, and a PDF file. Bitch, you can take those pictures on your cell phone and text them to me for $2.
No disrespect to stylists. I'm pissed that I haven't bamboozled people into believing that my time is worth $500 an hour. I'll style you. But you know what I mean? Like you go to Bloomingdale's and it's like, you can have our special stylist and they charge you an arm and a leg. And they're like, this $1,000 top will go fabulously with this $3,000 skirt.
Yes, excellent.
I could go over to Value Village and pick up 2 pieces of fabric, put it together. You look just as good.
Just as good.
I'm telling you what, you look fabulous today.
Well, thank you. It's all thanks to you.
Well, I was going to say leave your hair out, but we put it in a bun today.
Oh, we did? Should I take it down? Do you like the putting it down?
It looks great either way, but you never put it up. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I never did. Well, I'm feeling frisky. I'm feeling like a whole new woman. I really am.
Were you enlightened at Area 51?
I was enlightened at Area 51. I went to therapy yesterday. Therapy always clears my mind.
We do love a good therapy sesh.
My husband told me that he really missed me for the first time ever. It was a breakthrough. It was a real breakthrough.
You know what? No, I'm not going to disclose too much information, but it's so nice to feel.
You have to keep your mouth. This one will be like, oh my God, she'll tell all the secrets. This one time I was at your place, there was a pair of underwear there. And then I'm like, AJ, remember when we weren't supposed to say that part? Oh, okay.
Shit.
Yeah. You have to use restraint. Real restraint.
Mm-hmm. I do, truly. But I will say that...
You're like at a loss for words.
For words. I okay. What do I say now? No, what I will say is that for somebody like Schman to say that he actually missed you and somebody who loves his time and loves to be, have his little Schman time, for him to say he missed you on a long trip is really, I think we've leaped. This is one huge step for mankind.
Massive step for mankind.
Massive step.
Yeah, this was huge. I had my own Greta Thunberg speech yesterday and it was therapy and it was awesome. But I have missed you. I have missed my childhood and I missed you all last week. Anyway.
You have stolen. Okay, we should not go into this.
I don't care. Everybody, she's like on me now.
Stolen my dreams and my childhood, and I should not be here missing school.
Oh my God!
It's not funny. She is truly.
She's truly canceled.
Guess what I was doing at 16?
Cancel Nation. Okay, what were you doing at 16? Me too. I was riding around in a Saab with a massive subwoofer. Yeah, with a basketball, oversized sweatshirt on. Trying to get drunk on Natty Lights. No, look, we make fun of her, but that was very empowering yesterday.
It was the most empowering speech ever. At let me just tell you, I was trying to reiterate that at 16, I was not giving speeches to massive amounts of people. I was not becoming a meme. She's spoken to millions of people. She's everywhere.
They did not have an audience. 16.
No, it's just the way that she carries herself. It's very, very dramatic, but I think that made for such a bigger splash. Like
We are watching you. It's just
I had to go look at the video because I just saw this child and surely she was on the verge of tears because she really is moved by this environmental crisis that we're in, and she taught me stuff. I was like, are we that in desperate need? And we are. We really are. We are in dire times.
We are. Thank God for her. I mean, I support her, but it was very impassioned. She's Asperger's. She has a form of autism. So,
which
yesterday,
I couldn't really, it must have been very, very light on the spectrum. I really couldn't tell. I mean, she speaks very, very well, and she's so aware of what's happening.
Super bright.
Yeah.
But
16.
Anyway, 16. Speaking in front of the UN. It was just so impassioned, the poor thing. I mean, I was stressed for her. That should be another one of your impressions. You ought to get out there.
People would cancel me. Are you serious? I shouldn't be here. I should be in school. But you know what I'm saying? It was such a it was a performance, honestly.
Shame on you all. So good.
And I am not speaking badly on her. I'm just saying that the performance she gave deserved awards.
It deserved an Oscar. Between that and then the guy that was full on twerking with his ball sack basically out
you
in
loved
DC.
This guy. I was like, you go, how is this gonna solve climate?
I love people that are impassioned and protest and all this stuff. So yesterday, in DC, it was shut down DC, right? Or it was Monday. It was Monday. Mm-hmm. So, Epic closes all downtown, all around the Capitol, the White House, all this stuff, right? And then there's this video that goes viral of this guy who looks in his young 20s, and he has the tightest cutoff jean shorts. His sack is just molded, and so is his hat. And they're throwing glitter at one point on him. And he's twerking like no one has ever twerked before. And then he gets down and does a split, and he's gyrating. And I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck is this supposed to convince world leaders that to stop emissions?
What was the sign behind him? It was we need
capitalism
change, or
is killing us.
Right, okay, yeah.
You have robbed me of my childhood.
Put him and Greta together. I think we could have
they should be together.
A movement.
It was epic day. What a great day yesterday.
What a great... This whole week has just been meme central, just all this type of
What a world we live in.
What a world we live in. Is one thing, one huge thing turns into a meme, which then turns into a huge movement and a whole media frenzy.
We we definitely need to come up with a meme for him because it was so epic, the split.
The split. Oh, then he's just bouncing up and down. He's giving us Cardi B.
And I put it on Twitter, and then people were like, "Fuck you! What are you doing for the environment?" At least I'm like, it just it's an observation. I recycle constantly at my house. We recycle every damn thing. We're washing out every pot, every plastic. I mean. But we're doing all we can do, folks.
There's still places in the United States that do not recycle. Ocean City, Maryland is one of them.
Really?
They weren't for a really long time because they would say it's more expensive to build a recycling center than to actually just throw it all out. I'm like, I don't think that makes any sense.
Wow.
But yeah, so we would always bring a bag home of all our recycles, recycle it in DC.
Here you go.
It is crazy though. Just what are people? We need a book for recycling and climate change prevent all that stuff for dummies. That's what I need.
Oh, right. Because what you're just saying, you don't know where to start to help the environment.
Well, I just see people like Greta who are so passionate about the movement, and I don't think I get it. You know what I mean? I know the ice caps are melting. I know, but I woke up this morning and the sun was shining and birds were chirping. See, I don't see the effect right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the point. But I feel like you are seeing it with these massive hurricanes.
Right.
And you're actually probably seeing it in Ocean City because what's insane here in the United States, it's happening all across the world, is our shorelines are completely being eroded, at a much faster rate than they were 100 years ago. So people who have homes in Florida, all up that actually are on the ocean, they're not going to exist in 10 or 15 years. This is why I don't own a vehicle. And I get you to drive me everywhere.
This is true. We do carpool, and I think that I was watching a couple of videos, and they were interviewing people around DC and asking them, "How are you lessening your carbon footprint?" And it was all I'm not going to have children, and I've chosen to not give birth because I feel like it'll lessen my carbon footprint, and I don't want to put another human on this earth if they're not even going to survive the first 5 years.
That's so crazy. I never think about that as someone who's currently trying to get pregnant. I never think about climate change.
But then I think about the other side. What if you teach them really well and you bring them into this world as a really good citizen and a good person?
What if I'm giving birth to the next Greta and she's just got this amazing idea for recycling?
Right.
And she's Swedish.
And she's Swedish, and I think about the thing about it, Greta, is just like, she came all the way from Sweden to speak to the UN. What are you doing? Like, I don't want to get canceled by people because I want to say, like, she's an incredible person, and she was actually she's an activist in Sweden, right? Because then I wanted to research all about her. I'm like, who is this 16-year-old coming over here and talking to, like, you want to research her, right?
And she does not get on airplanes because of the admission, so she took a 32-hour train ride to get to the UN from Sweden. Just to get up there and tell them, I'm watching you. You have robbed me. Okay. It's getting less funny, but you know.
No, it is. I literally am thinking of all the bad things people are going to say about us.
Oh, they say shit all the time. Whatever. We love everybody. That's the thing. Like, we do a comedy podcast. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
It talks about comedy, pop culture, our insane lives. We put everything out there. As you guys know, we're a wreck. Like, we don't hide that. So we just like make fun of people because whatever. I mean, it's all in good fun.
It's all in good fun. The world is ending. We might as well have some fun with Greta. I would. Do we think she would come on the show? We'll pay for your 32 ride train ticket to come back. Please.
How are we going to get her from Sweden to Washington, D.C.? I mean,
we'll Skype her.
It would be a voyage for her.
It would be a voyage.
We'd have to Skype in. Yeah, she'd be really good.
She'd be incredible. Now, I want to get her a styling. I'm actually going to suggest a style and glam team. I feel like we could have done more than a French braid to...
to reach the UN.
But she's been, she probably just traveled 32 hours, and we can't expect her to, be all glammed up. But we got to put her in touch with Paul Wharton's Glam Squad because she's gorgeous. I feel like she's like a Scandinavian goddess. I want to like zhuzh that hair up, but all natural, not animal tested.
Oh, I was going to say, she probably doesn't believe in any makeup or anything.
Absolutely not. Right.
Good for her, though. I do, like, and I love kids that are impassioned at a young age. Like, they have such a calling. Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I couldn't get my act together. But
you think she's getting invited to prom? I feel like guys would just be like, I don't even know how to even approach the subject of prom. I love the planet. Boys scared of you? I'm rambling on and on, but I'm trying to get out that, like, as a boy, I'd be so scared of Greta.
Yeah, I think that people are intimidated by her and world leaders. Oh, God. Anyway, that was like a huge detour from what we were originally going to say.
Which you want to start over?
No, absolutely not. I feel like our whole show the show should be changed to Detour. Like, it should be completely like...
It should be called Bounce and Sombrero, Take a Detour.
It should be called Tangent with Bounce and Sombrero. That should actually be it. Oh my God, seriously, I can already see the graphic. Like just a sombrero and then like a ball bouncing.
Horrible graphic already.
Tangents with Bounce and Sombrero. Okay, so we have these new nicknames for each other. We went away last week. We were in LA. We wanted to do some meetings out there. Then we went to Area 51. And one morning we were talking about like inheritances or whatever, like what our parents are going to leave us. And I was saying to AJ, like, my mom's motto is the last check should bounce. Like, she literally is like, she has no income and shops nonstop. Well, like all the fucking time my brother calls me, he's like, I've taken her credit cards. Like, he continues to take her credit cards and she just signs up for new ones. I'm like, oh my God, she's not a nickel, right? And then you were saying, oh, great. Well, my parents are going to leave me 2 sombreros. That's like all they have.
2 sombreros and a little bit of regret.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like...
And a massive therapy bill.
Massive therapy bill, maybe some tequila left over like from like the depths of Oaxaca, Mexico. And call it a day.
Call it a day.
2 sombreros, that's my inheritance. Can't wait.
So now we're sombrero and bounce because that's really appropriate for us.
I think it is. It encapsulates everything that we are as people.
This must be so awesome. Like, if you knew that you were going to get millions of dollars from your parents, like, what a great feeling. Like, would you even work? I feel such less pressure.
Right. I always go up and down with this because I'm so thankful for where I came from, because when I have a really good day or we go on a really nice vacation, I'm so thankful and happy. But imagine if you're rich and, a yacht on the Amalfi Coast, just a Tuesday.
Oh, God. No, I can imagine it. That would be epic.
It'd be epic, right?
Yeah.
You'd be so thankful for that. And so I feel like pain really, you see happiness in that. What
poverty leads to appreciation.
Yes. Holy socks. When your socks are holy, you appreciate a good pair of socks.
I mean, I'm ready to live in a mansion. I'll be honest.
I'll be honest with you. I'm ready for the richest to come.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, they can come anytime.
But do you work if you know you have a trust fund waiting for you? Do you have a purpose in life? And I think... You should.
No.
You should be.
I would have no purpose. I'd be like,
set me up at a penthouse in Soho.
No stress.
Absolutely no stress.
We asked the question, by the way, on our Instagram. You could follow us at Hey Frase and at Andrea Lopez Comedy. Anyway, that's our nickname. We're calling the show today Bounce and sombrero.
Bounce and sombrero. It only took us 20 minutes to get to that point. But Bounce and Sombrero, we here.
Look, we got to thank some of our sponsors. And the best way to support this podcast, we love you guys. You frequent our sponsors. You buy from them. You make appointments for them. And that is so awesome. That keeps us in business. Alex Nguyen is from State Farm Insurance, and he has got you. He's a husband and wife team. We love On, too, his wife On. You can go to their website, Always On, which is ALWAYSANH.com, or call 703-462-8700. They have 3 locations, Alexandria, Annandale, and Arlington, but they serve Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, everywhere. Life insurance, auto and home, renters, condo, financial service consultations as well that can cover budgeting and retirement. Dan and I go to them. Dan is just getting a life insurance, short-term and long-term. I'm adding to my short-term and long-term, as well as my life insurance. So make your appointment today. Don't wait. If you are in your 30s, now is the perfect time to get started. Even if you're in your 40s, it is never too late. You definitely need life insurance because, unlike our parents who are leaving us with pennies, sombreros, and bounce checks, you could be leaving your kids with financial freedom and security. So make an appointment today with Alex Nguyen. You can go to alwayson.com or call Alex at 703-462-8700. We also love Dr. Mary. I just had my periodontal surgery with her. You're going to be seeing a new video up. I'm going to kind of take you behind the scenes of my periodontal surgery. And also, you can get a $99 cleaning with her right now. She's located in Germantown, Maryland. TotalDentalCareMD.com. They treat everyone from little ones all the way up to senior citizens. They are a full family practice. And Mary got together with her partners to start putting the patient first. So if you haven't been to the dentist in 10 years, if you're not sure about your insurance, go see them because they specialize in helping you figure it out. They never turn patients away, and they make sure that your health and your dental health is great. I'm trying to get pregnant. So with me, I had to go and have a cleaning. Have all my dental stuff done because I had no idea how important your mouth was to your pregnancy. No clue.
All connected, Sarah.
All connected. Had no idea. TotalDentalCareMD.com. Make your appointment today. Tell Mary that the Hey Frase podcast sent you. You get a $99 special. Also, Inova Health is amazing. You got to hear from Dr. Clark on Monday, who was great. I love this. And I always get great messages from you guys about addiction struggles that you've either had or your family members have had. Totally get it. They're having an event, actually. Inova Health and Act on Addiction campaign will bring together members of the community at the Act on Addiction Summit, bridging the gap for young adults on October 5th, of course, which is next Saturday. For more information and to register for the event, visit actonaddictionnow.org. Okay, that's their website, actonaddictionnow.org. We've partnered with Inova Health because this entire month is Addiction Awareness Month, the month of September, so we're very grateful for them. Act on Addiction campaign is an addiction awareness campaign focused on generating awareness, destigmatizing, and educating those who suffer from addiction and their loved ones. As Dr. Clark mentioned, they do everything from group meetings. A lot of this stuff is free, a lot of the programs, or they said do not be deterred if you do not have the money to send a loved one or yourself to rehab. They help with all of that. So it's actonaddictionnow.org is the website. Excellent. All right, there's a couple of crazy pop culture stories that are happening that I thought we could talk about because I'm just always fascinated. It is kind of a weird week, I feel like, in the world. Between Greta, the twerking, shut down D.C.,
a woman biting camel's testicles. Yeah, we got a lot of stories this week.
But the one that keeps circulating all over my social media is, did you see the parents that thought they were adopting a 6-year-old girl only to find out that she was actually an adult con artist with dwarfism who then tried to murder them?
Yo, we are not safe, yo. Yo. This has left me in utter... I planned on adopting. Not anymore. You can better believe all those adoption agencies are shutting them down. No one's going to adopt anymore.
I want to adopt too, actually. I'm very excited to adopt. And Rob Scheer, who's been on this, who does comfort cases. Yes, who's been in the foster care system, was, and now and adopted 4 kids. Like, we ought to get Rob on the phone. I mean, what are the chances? Does this story seem fishy to anybody else? So this couple.
Yeah, this girl is a psychopath. Read me this story, Sarah.
Read it.
Get into it.
Okay, so this whole sweet adoption story started in 2010, and I thought that the movie Orphan was based on this, but it turns out it's not true. So a couple in Florida, Christine and Michael Barnett, claim that they're victims of fraud. Though they were charged with abandoning their adopted daughter when she was 9 years old, they claim that she lied and was posing as a child when she's really a mentally ill teenager. Now, Christine says she and Michael adopted the Ukrainian-born Natalie Grace in 2010 from Florida, where they were told she was 6 years old. But they immediately say signs became very strange within the first year. First of all, their 6-year-old child, when they went to bathe her, she had full pubic hair and then started her period a week later.
A tad old.
Okay, what's going on
Red
here?
flag immediately, unless it has onset pubic hair growth, early onset.
Whoa, okay, this is a little soon. They didn't say it was like a little. They said it was like massive.
Yes.
Then she says that she also, within a year, so her adopted daughter was having full-on periods. She had adult teeth, and she never grew an inch, which even if the child did have dwarfism, she still would have grown some if she was 6 years old. Natalie often acted like a child, loved to dress in pink dresses and kids' clothing, but her vocabulary was one of an adult, and she hated hanging out with children. At the time, the mom says, I ran a little school, and I remember she said to me, these children are exhausting. I don't know how you do it. And then like a week later, she caught Natalie putting bleach or Windex or something in her coffee. And she asked Natalie, what are you doing? And she said, I'm trying to poison you. I'm trying to kill you.
Okay, see, if I was really trying to kill my parents, I wouldn't immediately come out with it. I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the cream. Just came out, I'm trying to kill you.
Other times, Natalie would smear blood on the house mirrors and attack babies and make death threats, claiming she was hearing voices. Eventually, they moved her out to an apartment. Okay, so they moved her out to an apartment and then they moved to Canada to try to get away from her, right? Then they like peeked back in on her one time because they were paying for her apartment, and they say that she had pink dresses, little bows, and they believed that she was frauding another family, trying to convince them that she was an abandoned little girl.
See, absolutely not.
How do they, I have so many questions about this. So a lot of people did, like I mentioned, had said that this was the plot for the Orphan film, but I don't think it was, because Orphan movie came out in 2010. People are saying it's the Orphan in real life. Okay. So the Orphan movie came out first, and then a lot of people are saying that this is basically like the Orphan movie. Yeah.
Yes. So this is really what she looked like. And if you know what scares me is that she does have kind of the facial features of a younger child. So what's really going on with the adoption center that actually let this pass? Because they did it through an adoption. It was like an emergency adoption in Florida.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, but I'm really confused. I feel like someone needs to do like a deeper dive, right? Because the parents were charged with abandoning her, and I'm not sure if the case is ongoing. It kind of seems like it is. Like they're not out of the woods yet, even though this little girl, oh my God, it's like a lot older.
Right. I'm just trying to find some actual recent images of her.
Because all I see, because you brought up a recent article where it looked like Christine and Michael, the parents, they had been arrested and charged. Like they had their mugshots.
Right, which is...
But I agree with you. It's like you must be able to go back to the Florida Child Agency that set up this adoption. And then aren't they liable?
That's what I'm thinking. What they're saying is that they were taken into custody for abandonment because they technically abandoned the child, but she's not a child. And they have the doctor's notes to prove it.
People are saying, of course it was Florida. I read the story last night. It was insane, practically organized.
Florida? Only Florida people would allow this. Yeah, take this kid. She's 6 years old.
Ladita says, how the hell were they charged with child abandonment when she was grown? I don't know. Because apparently there's some sort of disagreement about her being grown. I mean, they say that they even mentally institutionalized her where she admitted she was 18. But then she was back out on the street. They got her apartment. They couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't keep her. Back out on the streets. They rent her an apartment, and then she starts scamming other people.
Oh, my God. Within a year, they had claims she pushed her into an electric fence, poured bleach into her coffee, and threatened to stab the Barnetts in their sleep. And they decided to flee to Canada. You know why? Because Canada is a happy place.
Well, now you need a passport to get there, too. So they probably figured this chick, Lord knows if she could figure out her passport.
Definitely not.
Man, I hope they're not charged right. This is crazy.
The crazy thing is they couldn't even tell how old she is. Like, is she 18? Is she 22? They were taking literally like bone samples to figure out the bone density to figure out her age.
Oh my God, can you imagine? I mean, like, I would change my phone numbers. Like, how do you get away from her? Poor thing.
I know. So this is the
poor
mom.
Mom looks so upset too. Like, I mean, she looks completely distraught. I would be too. What do you do with like this kid?
And they just... At this point, they wanted to leave the kid behind. Still paid for her apartment, though. I would just cut off all ties. But they're still getting charged with abandonment.
I don't know how.
Absolutely not. What are you going to do? You adopt a kid, and they stayed with the kid for like a year while the kid tried to pour bleach in their coffee.
I don't know what I would do. I really don't.
And okay.
There you go. See, she looks 18 there.
Oh, yeah. Does she?
I think she does, don't you? She looks older. She doesn't look 6. She doesn't look 8. You guys think she looks 8?
Yes. I'm getting total. Hold on. I'm going to put this picture up.
That's a woman. Here she is. This is Natalie Grace. Natalie Grace looks, in that picture, she looks 30 years old. No, you ain't fooling me.
No, okay. You know what's giving it away is the grandma scarf. She's got she's got over her shoulders.
This is a 35-year-old woman.
I wouldn't go as far as say 35.
Let's get Natalie Grace on this show. Would you trust Natalie Grace?
She's so young.
Not to me. She's got facial hair.
No, not like your stash.
People are saying the couple moved to Canada because their other child was a math prodigy. Okay, sure, I'd go with that excuse too. Math genius. Let's get the hell out of here.
Okay, this is more pictures of her
heading
drawing.
To Montreal. Here's the dad.
This is the dad. Released on $5,000 bail. Here's the mom. I mean, I can't believe it. They're trying to do a good deed. And turns out, literally, you're trying to adopt a child. Turns out,
this is
your baby's trying to kill you.
A great Inside Edition story. I mean, has anyone gone and interviewed Natalie Grace?
You know what's crazy? She actually kind of, in the movie An Orphan, looks like the dad.
Wow. Scary as hell. But anyway, that story has to be circulating all over your social media because no one can believe it.
No one can believe that. She's just a con artist.
All right, I agree. She looks young.
Yes, they're doing Christmas cookies. She poured bleach inside that flour. I am so scared. Wow.
Bitch knew what she was doing.
She really is. And she got her own apartment, and now she's got bows and pink dresses, and she's going to con the next couple.
How do you do that, though?
How do you do that?
Walk out on the street, no one thinks to
You just contact an orphanage or and just say, "Hi, I'm 6. I've been left here. I'm ready to find a family."
People are saying scammers are a rare breed. She looks like a kid who used to use the Face app to make herself look old.
Wow.
Oh my God, we're going to hell.
We are.
This is just
This is them holding her.
Wow. Poor thing. But you know what? It sucks. I hate stories like this because it ruins it for thousands of kids that need to be adopted, that are waiting for good homes.
Do not let this story deter you.
It doesn't deter me. I mean, what are the chances?
No.
This is 1 in a million chance.
If they're trying to say this is an emergency and you need to adopt this child or nothing, probably don't go with it.
Yeah, there's somebody set them up. There's something there. Yeah, I agree. I would want to know more. Wow, she does look young there. She's giving him a rose. Breathe into this. It's filled with
anthrax powder. This is not funny.
Get closer. This is anthrax.
The couple showered Natalia with intention, taking her to Disney World.
I'm also a poison prodigy.
She's got all the poisons. Enjoying ice cream treats and playful pillow fights with her 3 brothers to slowly bring her out of her shell.
That's how they started?
Well, they're just saying that they showered her with gifts in the beginning, right when they just adopted her. But I tell you, this story is really insane.
God, that must be so stressful. Poor family. I hope they're okay. Basically we should have dedicated this show to all the crazy kids out there because it's turning into the child show. Did you guys see this about the 11-year-old boy who in South Carolina who drove 200 miles, stole his brother's car? 11-year-old boy drove 200 miles alone to live with a man that he met on Snapchat, police say. What is going on? I mean, I'm trying to have a kid and I'm having second thoughts left and right.
Wait a minute.
These kids are out here in these streets doing whatever.
Okay. Don't watch the news. Don't watch the show Euphoria if you want to have kids. This is literally what we're telling you right now. Wait. This 11-year-old kid.
Half of the people that listen to this show have children. Do y'all's kids act like this?
This is crazy.
Are they trying to poison you and then steal in your car? Because I gotta know before I have one.
The balls these kids have. I was not doing the balls. You know what I was doing when I was 6 and 11? Not this. Yeah. I was watching Dragon Tales and Arthur. I don't know how do they even get into the car? I was so scared of that. I was scared of driving at 16. This kid's cars,
11 years old. Yeah, Charleston police cruiser early Monday morning, this past Monday, noticed something was unusual when a car pulled up alongside him and an 11-year-old boy was in the driver's seat alone.
Okay.
The boy had taken his brother's car and driven several hours from Simpsonville, South Carolina, to live with a man that he met on Snapchat.
Kids,
What?
no supervision.
I guess not. After the 11-year-old's father's GPS device lost signal, the boy was unable to re-enter the man's address because the message had disappeared. One of Snapchat's features, of course, is messaging function that allows people to communicate in short videos and photos that disappear. You know, this whole thing is still under investigation as they're trying to figure out if this older man lured the 11-year-old boy. However, they did call the 11-year-old boy's family, who then came to get him. No one noticed the missing vehicle? I mean, how does an 11-year-old even know how to drive?
That was my first thought. 200 miles.
200
You
miles.
wouldn't even
You're
let me
getting
drive.
on and off exits.
You wouldn't even let me drive from Vegas, from LA to Vegas.
Absolutely not.
This 11-year-old's driving 200 miles.
What in God's name? This poor kid.
Poor kid. I'm more
yeah,
concerned about
no.
the guy on Snapchat that actually got him to drive. He probably was like, take the car. I feel like he was instructed and he did the whole thing.
I know, but you know what's scary is like, are people not having conversations with their kids? Like, are they not saying like, hey, like every time I see my niece and my niece is like, oh, I'm talking to my friend on Snapchat. I'm like, they're not real. They're 45 years old. Don't believe that. She goes, no. It's just Kelly down the street. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's just,
You start contacting the person. It's like,
I know
it's
who
really
you
her
are,
like
yeah.
11-year-old friend down the street.
I mean, this story is bananas. God, I don't even
I'm
know.
happy he's safe.
Thank God. Thank God he never met up with this nutsack. But you know, you
Honestly.
don't know what their conversations were. So did this older guy think that this kid was older? Was this kid presenting himself as older on Snapchat? Or
Right.
was this guy a pedophile? You don't know.
And with Snapchat, the messages do go away, but I have to believe they go into like the cloud or something.
Oh, of
like
course.
you can
They
retrieve
save
the
everything.
Snapchats.
They
Yes.
save everything.
Don't be sending nudes on Snapchat. It doesn't disappear.
No, they don't disappear.
No. No.
People are
Insane.
going, wait, what? What's up with this 11-year-old? I don't know. Today
He stole a car and he drove 200 miles.
Balance and Sombrero are doing a show dedicated to all the kids out there. Here's everything you shouldn't do. Okay? Well, except for Greta. We like Greta. Get it, Greta. You're doing the work that we don't want to.
That is a 16-year-old with a voice and a purpose.
Get it, Greta. Get it, girl. Who on this show believes? So, do you believe that 3/4 of millennials have had a quarter-life crisis?
I do believe that because all three of us realized
I'm a millennial too. Okay, there's 4 millennials on this show. I'm on the high end.
the three millennials on this show. We were discussing it earlier today.
Bitch, I'm in that category. I'm like I was the original millennial. I'm the OG of millennials. I am. I'm one of the originals.
Well, do you think you've ever gone through this quarter-life crisis?
Knock on wood, not yet. I don't think so.
Give us a couple characteristics of what you experienced.
Okay, so new study says that 3/4 of
Let me
all
test
millennials
myself.
claim that they've had a quarter-life crisis. Now, a quarter-life crisis is sparked mostly by do you have ongoing panic, stress, and a general feeling of what am I doing with my life?
The fuck am I doing with my life?
Okay, everybody on this show. So AJ is young. She's 25. Then our interns are like 25 and younger. So Marcus and Alyssa, do either one of you feel as though that you've had a quarter life crisis as a millennial? Or do you feel like you've had a life crisis?
Oh, yes, absolutely, 100%. Yes, I've been feeling that since I was like 18 years old. It's a daily thing, really.
But here's my question. Why do you guys feel like... So the article basically goes on to say that most of millennials at 25 feel that they should have their lives figured out. That they should at least own a vehicle or a house, or they should have enough money to buy either a car or a house. At 25? And yet they say that oftentimes they're overwhelmed by here I am, carless, houseless, and wondering whether a diet of super noodles will be able to sustain me forever. So but what made you believe that at 25 you were going to like have a house and a car and all that? That's a lot.
Definitely did not think that I was going to own a house because I'm a millennial. I know I'm running all my shit anyway for like a really long time. But I don't know. I think it's seeing everyone else. Everyone always like posts about all of their success and everything. So for me, it's like more of where I'm going career-wise. And everyone seems like really established with where they're going and what they want to do. And it's like that's what I have to compare to. Marcus might feel differently.
Marcus, how do you feel?
Well, I also just feel like a lot of people our age think that like work-wise, like work really needs to be meaningful. Like I think like I don't think necessarily for like my parents, like I think my parents, like, at their jobs, they like the people they work with. It's enough to, like, they enjoy it, but that's not what their life is about. And I feel like at least now, especially for a lot of us before, like, we're having families of our own at least, a lot of people, I think, feel like they need to find the meaning in their life from the work that they're doing. And that's hard. Because, like, a lot of jobs suck. Or even if they don't suck, it's hard to say, like, okay, this is where I find the purpose in my life. But I think a lot of people are like, okay, what do you do? What do you do? Like, what's your life about?
Question.
Yeah, and literally when you say, what do you do? It means, what is your job?
Oh, that's really good.
Like, I just think, I don't know. I just see a difference between my friends and, like, what I think of as, like, people my parents' age in terms of how they approach work. And I feel like then if you're going to your job trying to find, like, okay, this is where my life is going to get its meaning, it's going to be pretty easy to feel disappointed, I think.
Well, you're making a lot of people happy at Jubilee Ice Cream.
Yeah, exactly. That's also, I'm sick of, like, I'm a little bit sick of everyone framing what they do in terms of some sort of service to the world.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I started an app that helps you find parking easier. Like, making the world a little bit better. Like, no, that's a good product. I'm glad. Like, I want that app. But, like, that's not service. That's not, like, a good deed. You know, but I think there's a real impetus for people to frame everything they do in that way. It's like sometimes, you know, I, like, want to be a comedian. And I hear comedians sometimes talk about, like, you know, I'm just making the world a little bit better, like, bringing a smile, bringing a laugh, or
That's
whatever.
what we have to tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better.
I'm also just
Truly.
like, you're a person who is, if
laugh.
you're a successful comedian, you're a person who's smart enough to have actually done something that could have really addressed some sort of institutional wrong. I'm not saying I don't think you have a responsibility to do that. I'm just saying, like, you wanted to just make jokes, and that's okay. But I just think that, like,
you wanted to,
there's
like,
a drive
wake
for everyone
up late
to
and spend the night and drink at comedy clubs. That's literally you just get paid to do that.
Yeah, and that's okay.
What do you feel? Do you feel like you're having a quarter life crisis?
Well, the most recent thing in my life, I have pink eye in my right eye. I'm pretty sure you farted on my pillow.
What? How could you possibly have pink eye? You're never around kids. What do you mean?
Well, no, you just catch it in any old way. I don't know. I woke up with, like, a sty in my eye or something. So I immediately assumed it was you. No. I don't know. Have I? That's my hardship today.
Oh, well, that's like nothing. Then obviously you're not having
not
a
too
quarter
bad.
life crisis.
I am really happy that everyone is experiencing this because it makes it less of a problem, I think. You know, like,
Yeah, you're
everyone's
all
addressing it.
In it together.
I hate the bad stereotype that millennials have that we never have anything figured out. But I like that it's okay to sleep in your parents' basement until you're 40. Like, all these things are now okay. Like they've addressed, like, everybody's in school debt, you know? And that's true. I will be in school debt for a long time, and I feel like it's okay. I think the stereotype has been removed a little bit. Like, there's not a bad stereotype anymore about that. So have I had a quarter life crisis?
No,
a little
seems
bit.
Like,
seems
seems
like you're
like now
handling it
you're
well.
like, now you're like, I've justified every point. So everything.
Millennials are also good at justifying everything. I'm hungry today. I've already had a hamburger. But
I'll have one more.
I have one more. I gotta feed myself. You know what I mean? Like, we're just good at justifying. I'm not upset about the career choice. I feel like it's really the only thing I'm really, really good at. And
Oh, yeah. And you're so young. There's so many years for it to work out. I think I don't know how millennials kind of got this mindset that, like, it's all going to happen really fast.
that, I think it
Takes
was a turning
long
point.
time.
I used to complain to you 2 years ago at 23. I was like, oh my God, I'm going nowhere in life. I have nothing to my name. What am I going to do? You're like, bitch, you're 23. Okay. It don't happen overnight. And look, 2 years later, I was able to get, you know what I mean? So it does take a lot of time. It does take time to manifest. And I think that's the thing with all millennials and people that are in the 20s to 25 range. You're not going to be a high-paying lawyer. And I think we only pay attention to the success stories after they've already been successful. You have to go back to where they were just starting out. I follow all of these like style and big comedians, and you got to remember that they were in the comedy clubs. Schmucking it out
for years.
Making a dime every single night. And we only see the successful part, you know, what they're putting on social media. But you got to go back to the old days. And just remember that,
Well, people are loving your advice. They're loving your advice. They're loving Marcus's advice. They love Alyssa. They're basically saying that they agree with you guys. So
good to
hear. I'm also loving this article because, look, I've been all shapes and sizes, but Vice just put out an article, How to Have Sex with a Fat Girl, that is getting like a lot of attention. And they say touch, and I can't stress this enough, touch the fupa.
No, read it again, but give me emphasis on the word. Read it like
touch
Greta.
The fupa.
No, read it like Greta reads it.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. You did not touch my fupa.
I want to call this the Greta Challenge. Okay, this is called the Greta Challenge. If you want to convey a point, say it like Greta would say it.
You have robbed me of this.
You have robbed me of love from my fupa. Like, you need to really convey that message. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I like the Greta Challenge so much. That's so good. Oh my God, can we record us going up to people and doing the Greta Challenge?
I think that'd be great. And just
you
see
have robbed me.
She really is going to start a movement. You have to talk like you mean it. And she does.
Idea.
Yes.
Let's do that today, the Greta Challenge. I like
Everybody,
this.
Go out there. If you need to prove a point, if you need to quit your job today, go up to your boss.
I mean, we got to get the line straight, like of what she actually said, but it was something along that line.
Yeah, we got to get the line straight.
Well, I've been all shapes and sizes. And when I was like a bigger girl, no one wanted to have sex with me, which, but I think it was also myself. I wasn't really putting myself out there.
I see that. And this is one of the articles I read, like, top to bottom. I really thought it was an interesting title.
Isn't it good?
We have a lot. Like, I read a little bit about the orphan girl, but this one I was fully into. So when you were that age, the article said that a lot of men, they have to figure out if they're, into BBW or they have like a fat fetish. So, and they were totally okay with that, or at least the woman that wrote the article. But she was saying that people were actually afraid of the stomach. But she's like, if you want to have sex with me, like, have sex with all of me, like, embrace it.
I think that is so good. So touch the fupa is number one for the, these are the tips for having sex with a fat woman. It's a universal truth known by fat women that the fupa is the most intimidating part of your body. I know this because my fupa hasn't been touched, or had been touched so little that I'm surprised that she hasn't shriveled up and fallen off. I think this is what some guys were hoping would happen too. Avoiding belly touching makes it all the more obvious that the belly is there. So she says, jump in and touch and grip and like love all of the fupa. Stop mentioning skinny girls. I can see it on your lips. It's dying to jump off. You're deciding between, quote, I'm always wanted to fuck a fat girl, or I prefer your curves over a thin girl. If you've ever wondered the quickest way to kill a vibe, that is it. She says, use your imagination. In the BBC documentary Too Fat for Love, the blogger Emma Hill visits a London sex emporium where her and fellow fat friends get tips from sex coach Athena May, who shows the ladies how to support their weight going on top, different positions for face down, or how to use a sex wedge pillow. So instead, use this info with a little less rehearsal. Have more than 2 pillows on your bed so you can pop one under the woman's back if you need it, or your own. Trust us. When a skinny girl shares a meme about not going on top, it's a funny shared moment of laziness between sisters. But when a fat girl says this in the moment, and some stupid cis dude tries to encourage her to climb aboard by stating, you won't crush me, the world feels like it's falling down. They say trust what she says. Like, if she doesn't want to get on top, she doesn't want to get on top. In almost all sex I've ever had, I've known what I want doing more than my partner does. Mainly because I've been nearer to having many more sexual experiences as a larger woman. And don't bother. If a fat girl is your last choice on a night out, your mate's girlfriend's friend at a party, or just something you think you should give a go, put your pants back on and go home. So they say don't do it. Don't have sex with a fat girl just to like check it off your list, or like that you have no other options.
I totally agree with that.
Do you agree with those tips?
Agree with the tips. My favorite is, if your bed is a flimsy piece of shit, let's shag on the floor. And you know what immediately came to mind? My New York apartment bed. Yeah.
Oh, that
shag
one's
on
not,
the floor.
Shag on the floor?
Yeah, I'm literally like laying on 3 slats of wood. So yeah, probably would recommend shagging on the floor. Yeah. Can't fuck in the shower, finger me in the bath. That's hot. I'm loving all of these.
All the great tips. Anyway, it's a Vice article. I thought that was really good. I wish I'd had that article years ago.
And that's what the beginning of this article said that. She was like, I'm so glad that kind of more people are talking about it now.
We do Poppin', which is everything happening in pop culture news, and there's so much to get to. In fact, Demi Moore's book, Oh Child! So much dirt being spilled, and Ashton Kutcher responded yesterday, sort of. Basically said, he tweeted, I was about to write something really snarky, and then I looked at my wife and 2 children and didn't. But if you want the truth, text me, and then put out his phone number. So this comes after Or put out
what?
a
I'm
phone
sorry.
number. Someone text it and see what happens. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me get it for you.
So I saw that tweet. Also saw Demi's coming out. She's done a couple interviews. This book is going to be, she talks about living with an alcoholic parent. She talks about being
Her
super.
mom sold her for like rape sex at 15. That's
She talks about
up.
literally her rape, her sexual, all of the experiences. This is an entire memoir. And you asked me in the car over here, like, do you have to be that fucked up to be an actor? Like, is that what causes the creativity?
You guys are probably way too young because even I don't even really remember this, but do you know the comedian Phil Hartman who was on SNL?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes,
last night we watched on Hulu his documentary because his wife murdered him and then killed herself, like in their house with their 2 kids.
Okay,
so
didn't know that.
Yeah, crazy bananas. And he was so tortured too. I think you have to be tortured to be a comedian or an actor or actress. I guess. I mean, it seems like who's normal? Steve Carell is the only normal fuck I've ever seen. He seems completely well-adjusted and owns a store in Vermont.
I
Like
love
he and Sandra Bullock. They're like the only 2 normal people in Hollywood.
Sandra Bullock too. No, there's actually a lot. We just don't really. Who's the
None of them write books, I guess.
Big? He was in Big. He's a classic.
Oh, North.
Tom Hanks.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Tom Hanks is pretty normal. Yeah, you're
He's
right.
like one of the ones I always bring up. He's like one of the normal ones.
Well, Demi Moore's book reveals everything. But remember the picture where she was bent over in her granny panties, like her white underwear? She says that she was battling alcoholism at some point. She dishes everything. She says that Ashton Kutcher like convinced her to do threesomes when she didn't want to. Like, and Ashton Kutcher wanted that. She got pregnant with Ashton Kutcher's baby, like at 41 or something,
Right.
42. Then had then miscarried. I mean, craziness.
Yeah, she talked about
She
finding
talks
out
it
she was
all.
cheated on. She found out by like a tweet
Yes.
from like her phone, and she confronted Ashton. He immediately admitted to it.
I forgot that Ashton Kutcher cheated on her. Like, I forgot all that stuff about their romance.
Everybody, I never forget that romance. That was like the biggest thing. She
Right, 'cause
kind
they
of
had such an
started
age
the
difference.
movement of kind of like cougars.
Yeah, that's
She
true.
was like a huge advocate. I mean, you look at them and you always were like, wow, Demi and Ashton.
What does
What's
it
so
say?
funny
What's it
over
say?
there? What's so funny?
Marcus texted. So Ashton Kutcher on his Twitter right now has a phone number and it says text the truth. Okay. So did you text him?
Well, I just got sent his contact.
Okay.
Yeah, so I said, hey, Ashton, please tell me the truth.
Okay. Did he write back?
Well, and then I had to give him, I had to give some information, and then I was just sent his...
What information? What do we have to give him his email address so we can join his fucking like monthly news subscription? What's...
It says, yeah, basically.
Oh,
It said, but no, here's
God.
what it says. Ashton here. This is an auto text to let you know I got your message. The rest will be from me. Click the link so I can respond to you. I likely can't respond to everything, but I'll try to be in touch. Dream bigger. And then I did it, and it said, this is what the lawyers are making me text you. Boo. And then we can, I think now we can text him something.
Okay, we'll text him.
Okay. Hey, please tell us the truth.
What do you guys want to know? Do you want to know like if he...
The threesomes. Ask him.
yeah. Did
Who was the other threesome?
Yeah.
Who
Who
was
was
the other
the
person in the
third?
third?
yeah. Who's the third? Oh my God.
It
That
was
book
probably
is-
Mila Kunis. This article says Demi Moore claims she warned Ashton Kutcher about her tell-all book before.
Yes.
Oh wait, she says she had an addiction to Ashton Kutcher. Well, I would too. It's Ashton Kutcher. I can't wait to read this.
I know. So
It
anyway,
seems
she's-
like he doesn't have an iPhone.
Why, what does it say
is
back?
The message
It's
showing up
green,
green.
yeah.
Ew.
Tell me Ashton Kutcher has an Android?
10 biggest bombshells in
horror.
the book. God, she's so beautiful too. She's just like stunning. They both are. What a couple together.
I know.
Crazy. Then she had a seizure, apparently smoking synthetic marijuana, and that's when her 3 daughters stopped talking to her for a period of time. What? How did we not find all this out until now? She relapsed on alcohol. She said that Ashton Kutcher would take photos of her, and that was the underwear picture. She was drunk, and he would make fun of her and mock her, and they
Okay.
did that to post.
What the?
I know. She makes him sound like totally verbally like abusive. Crazy. Anyway, if he texts back, jump on the mic because we want to hear it. Also, if you're a Lana Del Rey fan, she's apparently. Does anyone watch Live PD on the show?
That is my favorite show.
Is it really?
Yes.
I take a bottle of wine to the face
On
Saturday
Friday night? Or is it Friday and Saturday
if
nights?
I'm staying in more. You guys would be very proud of me. And that is what I literally do, and I could watch PD for hours.
Really?
And I love the 3 cops that, or one of the, they're like retired cops. One's actually from the DMV, and they're just like, what do you think about the story? Absolutely insane. You know what I would do in this situation? And then they like actually go into the whole entire, it's such a good show. It always happens. Top places, Florida, Louisiana.
Always. Southern states, like always. So, she's dating one of the hosts, Sean Sticks Larkin.
He's hot.
And he got his nickname, apparently, he says, he chased down a guy, I think, who had a weapon, tackled the guy. And then his, main officer referred to him as a fuck stick. So then he says that it just came his nickname Sticks. So recalling the incident, Bleep Stick, it started with an F, and it's a bad word, he said. He just started calling me Stick from then on out. So those two apparently are dating.
Well, good for her. Totally didn't see her into the cop vibe. She's super summertime sadness. She's indie, you know what I'm saying? This guy seems super conservative.
She's 34 and he is 46. Good for
All right,
those two.
here's big age difference here. Yeah, he's one of the hot ones. Hello, Sean Larkin.
Hello, we're here for ya.
Look at that.
We're here for ya.
You know what Dan needs? Schman needs some tattoos.
You think Schman does?
Yeah. Actually, doesn't he have a clover on his...
He has a cross on and it looks real rough. It looks...
Is this one of those ones that you get when you're 18?
Where did you get this? In prison?
Faded?
Yes. It's very faded. It completely looks like they stuck a needle in some ink. And did you guys ever have those people in... No, you never did. But in Maine, people were too poor to go get tattoos, so they would do their own homemade ones, and they were real bad.
Stick and poke or poke and stick. What's it called? Stick and poke.
Stick and poke.
Yeah, we had some people in our high school. Yeah, that's kind of what Dan looks like. He needs to get a bigger... Yeah. Schman could look like this. Get some arm tats.
Real.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. But anyway, those two are a couple.
I really like this couple. I did not see that happening at all.
Anyone think we're going to have a bombshell in Making a Murderer? Because yesterday there were huge news that apparently a guy in Wisconsin has now confessed to murdering Teresa Habach, and it is not Brendan Dassey or Stephen Avery. And in fact, it's all part of a new documentary that will be out in March that has been it's called Convicting a Murderer, which has been following even new information from Making a Murderer and the Making a Murderer follow-ups. So this one says that they have the person who is confessed, and now police are listening to the confession and trying to basically get someone to corroborate it. And then this could be huge news. Do we think? I don't know. I don't think it's real.
This is the Keeping Up of Kardashians of crime docs. This is the never-ending saga of Stephen Avery.
That's true. What would we do?
What would we do when it's over? They have just completely spread this out over many docs. I still have yet to get to you know what I'm talking about? It's next up, they find the paperwork. I mean, these people are so disorganized. His family has and I can only imagine the trauma they've been through, but yeah. You have a whole theory of this though.
I do. I can't remember what it was.
Well, when we first watched the first one, you were so convinced. You were I
kind of thought it was the boyfriend, I think. But I don't know. I mean, here's my thing. I think what's upsetting about these stories is it's in the JonBenet Ramsey case. Over the years, they've had so many people confess to that murder.
Right.
And I think this guy is just another, wants the attention, seeking the attention. He's serving a life sentence or something like that for murder. So what does he have to lose by saying that he did it? I think it's going to be very hard for them to prove it. I don't know.
I need spark notes on this case. There's far too much now.
Basically, the latest update was Kathleen Zellner is this high-powered defense attorney in Chicago who's taken them on, and she's spent years reenacting it. And basically, she says that there's no way that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey ever could have done this, and essentially there'd be very little blood.
That was my takeaway from watching the first of the thousands of documentaries. That was my immediate reaction.
And Kathleen Zellner believes it's another family member. I think she believes it's Brendan Dassey's stepfather who did it. But anyway.
All connected.
There you go. Oh my God, what a show today.
What a show.
We literally have covered all the kids. I mean, wow.
From topic to topic. And I thought I was getting off topic constantly. You had to wrangle me a couple times.
Brendan Dassey to Greta Thunberg. Where else are you going to hear all that?
Don't forget about it, the Greta Challenge today. If you need to say something, say it with passion. Greta style.
Let's do it. We'll start that. All right, you guys, we're out. Love you so much. Thank you for watching on YouTube. We're obsessed with you. Be sure to tell somebody about the podcast that's never heard of the Hey Frase podcast. Bounce the sombrero out.
Bounce the sombrero, peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Rock the gas spot.
Hey, Fraser, like it. Hey, Fraser, like it. Rock the gas spot. spot. Rock the cast spot. Hey, Fraser,